before getting to that, I'd like to share a personal story about how I came to this realization. I came to this country then a couple years after I've been to the U.S. and I decided I want to change my name from Haiyan to Helen. Haiyan literally means sea swallow in Chinese. So imagine someone calling you, hello, sea swallow. That doesn't sound very sophisticated, right? And also at that time, I felt the name was too revolutionary. My father was influenced by a Russian writer, Maxim Gorky, and he has a famous poem called The Song of a Sea Swallow. The Gorky wrote the poem in 1901 as a challenge to the Tsar and predicting a revolution was imminent. So while other birds trembled, cowered, the poem says, the sea swallow cries out with joy to welcome the storm. As a child, my father told me, sea swallow is a brave bird and not afraid of the storm. But as I grew older, I started to feel the name, is too childish. But the year I came to the United States in 1989 was indeed stormy. And not only tanks rode into Tiananmen Square, but also the Berlin Wall fell, which led to the collapse of Soviet Union and the communist world. And I was not political, but I thought that communism was a big joke. But by dismissing my childish and revolution attached Chinese name, I wanted to completely, fit into the Western world. The name Helen, came handy, felt suitable too because we have the same character age, first character, and also the story Helen Keller inspired me. So with my new English name, I was determined to become the Helen Wang, the American. So in California, we know you really don't need to understand English to live a perfect American life. There are Chinese newspaper and Chinese TV and everything, right? But I wanted to be as American as I could. And so I, stopped reading the Chinese things and trying to surround myself with friends from different ethnic backgrounds. I was really trying very hard, trying to adapt to American society. So just as I thought I was on my way to become a real American, and somebody pushed my hot button by asking my Chinese name. So at a social event, as usual, I introduced myself as Helen, right, while mingling with people. So one woman looked at me and said, come on, what's your real name? I'm sure she meant no harm, but I was kind of offended. I was kind of mumbling, said something like, oh, Helen was my real name. But the woman's question made me to think who I really am. I'm the Chinese by ethnic background. I'm the American by citizenship. But sometimes I do not identify with either. Well, despite us spending so many years trying to be American, but still feel like I cannot completely fit into American mainstream. But on the other hand, people in China do not think I'm Chinese enough. So I was having this identity crisis and didn't know where to belong. It was quite unsettling, as you can imagine. It took years of soul searching before I realized whether we are Chinese or American. In essence, we are all one human race, like leaves of one tree and waves of one sea. And Earth is but one country, and mankind is citizens. So, in my book, I use a simple metaphor to make sense of this chaotic dynamics in China, the oneness of the world. To recap, by oneness, I mean diversities among different parties that are seemingly contradictory to each other, but in reality, they balance and complete each other and ultimately create unity.